From the great halls of their house, there are assembled three who hope to one day be the world's greatest driving heroes. Created from the cosmic legends of the universe comes our team captain, the Vision, Bill Fisher. Their soon-to-be Wonder Woman, Vicky Fisher. Our Captain Marvel and head flight trainee, Jennifer Skripchuk. And our Batman, the master of tools, gadgets, and all things mechanical, our mild-mannered soon-to-be billionaire, Alan Danvers. Their mission, to fight injustice, share what is right and wrong, to get you out of your house and come out racing with them, and serve all mankind. They are the Garage Heroes in Training Team.
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed. You're ready to move up.
Dominating with Dawson.
If only I could dominate. I really wish I could dominate. Vic, don't you wish you could dominate every now and then?
Oh, I know my limitations right now.
I know, but could you aspire to one day dominate?
Maybe.
Maybe with some help, we could get there. Maybe.
Ben.
Oh, Ben's
hi.
here?
Ben, how are you? Yeah.
I'm doing
Ben,
great.
can you help us dominate? We need to learn this domination thing.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've been accused of doing a little dominating, so I can probably help out.
So you can turn us from denominators into dominators. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. From the bottom to the top, so to speak. Nothing weird. It's fine.
It's fine. So I was at a HPDE probably a couple of years ago now. And it was fairly early on. And one of the things that they went over that I don't see gone over at a lot of HPDEs is the proper position for your mirrors, both your side mirrors and your rear view mirror.
Right.
And I thought, since we talk about vision all the time, and unless you've got fancy eyeballs that can see in a U-turn perspective, the only way you're going to see behind you is your mirrors. I thought maybe we could go over the mirror positioning for our listeners at home to help them dominate.
Yeah. Vicky, what do you do? How do you like to have your mirrors set up?
Well, first of all, I like to not have my face in it.
Right.
I don't like to see my own helmet in it. And I don't want to see my own car.
Your car moves a lot, though. You need to know where
yes,
your
it
car
does.
is,
But
right?
I don't want to see the edge of my car too much, or have it pointing too far on my car. I want to have as much view as possible that is unobstructed.
Okay. Do you always get that set up the way you want it before you go out and go?
I do my best. What
happens if it's not right? What happens if you're in the middle of a lemons race and you can't scream loud to get the guy to go, adjust the one that you don't have exactly the way you want? How's it going to go?
Run what you brung, baby.
Well, I try. It depends. It depends because sometimes if it's not, it gets relatively close to what I want, but at the same time, I'm usually pretty hyper vigilant about, except for that one time,
right.
Except for those cars that are around me, and you can usually sense where they are.
Okay. I'll tell you what happens to me when I end up with not my favorite mirror setup. It happened to me at this most recent Lemons race. Yeah, when I was racing around Mexico's 69 Bavaria that I could
tried
get
to
around
kill you.
people with. It tried to kill me, but I think I only got passed by 2 cars, so I meant I was doing a lot of passing, but also I couldn't see Jack on the right hand side, and the left hand side, like my side was okay, but like I just wasn't confident in what I could see out of the right hand side. So there's a lot of like looking, just turning my head to look out that side, see if somebody was next to me, but also what that usually results in it. And I had the same thing with Laser Shark, with the mirrors, and then one of their other cars, Laser Shark, when I raced it at CMP, they weren't great either. So when I'm not confident I'm getting a good rear view picture, what I end up doing is leaving people more room in traffic just to make sure I've, give myself extra space to make sure I've cleared somebody when I'm passing somebody, just to be absolutely certain I'm, got my speed matched up, or I can see the corner of their car. You know, if I can see whether I've already passed their car, or I know I'm about there. But I would like to be able to tell sooner with my mirror set up, but I just can't. So I end up leaving people more of a gap around me as I'm going by. And a lot of times people misinterpret that as me giving them an opportunity to come back, which I definitely am not. But that's one of the kind of the pitfalls of me not having my mirrors set up, is it leaves me in a kind of a vague position in traffic sometimes. I'm still going to get past them. I'm not going to lose a lot of time from giving them a tiny bit of extra room, but it does kind of leave me vulnerable for people who think like, oh, maybe this guy's messing up. I'm intentionally leaving the extra space, but they think like, oh, this guy's probably screwing up and I got a chance to come back in here. So I had somebody hit me coming out of turn 7 in Road Atlanta one time because I was doing that exact same thing. I was trying to like give somebody extra room, and somebody kept pushing, and I felt it hit me. It was one of Donnie's teammates or something. After I was like, who fired that shot? And the guy's like, oh, sorry, I hit you coming out of there. I was like, yeah, but I was just trying to give them extra spaces. I wasn't sure where they were in relation to me passing. And the same thing comes with being passed to it. Certainly helps to have your mirrors in great working order if somebody's coming up on you, right?
It does.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, usually when I'm driving, and I noticed it more so when I was racing in Thompson, is that there's certain parts of the track where end up being like really congested. Usually around turn 4, which is like a hairpin turn. And just knowing already who's behind you and who's around you, and like you said, leaving the space, but know that there's somebody there.
Right. I will confidently shut the door on somebody if I got good mirrors. You know what I mean? Like I'll do the pass and snap it off and make sure everybody's clear on what's happening. But it ended up having to be less clear about what's going to happen if I don't have my mirrors. You know.
Right.
Okay. So let's cover one thing, and then we're going to go back just a smidge.
Okay.
Our personal philosophy, and I believe it's common across our entire team, and Ben, you're adopted, and I think just from talking to you fall under the same, is no car contact is acceptable.
Oh, you know? Yes, I do not want anybody touching the car I'm driving. I don't want to touch your car.
Right. Because bodywork sucks. Nobody likes to do it. It doesn't help anybody.
Expensive.
It is. And expensive in money, expensive in time, expensive in temperament. And
it's dangerous to hit people. I got kids.
It is. We like our car. We like our body. We like our family. Most of it.
I worked hard on that livery.
That's right. Don't mess with it. Don't mess with Vicky's livery. She'll come get you.
What? Carry a can of freaking spray paint just to touch it up.
All right. So
not here to trade it with any paint. No trading paint.
So with that as the baseline, when you're adjusting let's go with the side mirrors first.
Right.
What do you want to see, Ben? What do you want to see? What don't you want to see?
The main thing I'm trying to do when I'm setting my mirrors up on track, I don't do as good a job on the street. I get kind of lazy with how I set my mirrors up on the street, but I pretty much want to set up I want a kind of a triptych view. You know, one mirror doing 1/3 of the triptych, the center mirror doing the center part of the picture, and the other mirror doing the other part. So I pretty much want to kind of split it 3 ways, and it's not exactly 3 ways. And that center mirror, you got the right kind, or even if one from the road car, is going to show you a lot of what's happening behind you, even with the A of those mirrors. But some folks kind of like to just point their mirrors differently. But I'm trying to use each one to kind of do an equal share of the rear view picture. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. So can you see your car and your own car in the side mirrors?
I don't know. I probably have them aimed out when I'm not seeing much of the car, but also it's not something that bothers me or I'm fixated on. So I've never noticed or thought I've got too much mirror.
But you don't have half the mirror showing you your car. If you're seeing your car, it's a piece, right?
Right. I want a pretty broad view. So I'm trying to get as much of the picture out the back as I can.
Yeah, because you kind of know what color your car is.
Well, and also as much as is useful. Like you don't want to point it out towards the woods. You want to kind of capture the width of the track and then kind of figure it out.
And then parallel to your car, but your car, you know what color your car is. It's not moving around too much. You should be able to keep track of it.
Exactly.
All right. So let's assume we're driving in a street car that's converted to the track. So we have the standard rear view mirror. What do you like to see in that, Ben?
Just straight out the back as much as I can.
As much of the rear view window, right?
Right, but
Okay.
just straight back, not angled one way or the other, just kind of
Okay.
looking straight back out the back window.
Do you agree with that, Miss Vicky?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Miss Vicky, I'm going to give you the Cupid doll question because I've got a couple more before we finish this topic and beat it to submission. We have driven several different types of rear view mirrors in addition to the standard OEM mirror, and we have a team preference and positioning of the said preference. Would you like to describe that to our audience, please?
Well,
Let's hear it.
we have like a pano mirror, and it's a very, very wide. So it kind of wraps around your vision a little bit more. It takes.
So it's convex in shape.
Yeah, you can see out entirely in the back. You don't really have to worry about it. It almost kind of connects, your vision sight into your side mirrors as best as it can, the way it goes. We like to have it pushed forward as much as possible, and then yeah, so we have a clear line of vision, and it's kind of up and out of the way of your forward vision. You don't want to have to kind of look out the side, and all of a sudden your mirror is blocking, certain viewpoints where you want to be coming around
in front of you.
Right.
A lot of folks
Front,
are mounted
yeah,
to
in front.
the. Do you have it mounted to the main hoop of the roll bar?
You know what? Yeah, it needs to be, because if not, the shimmying and the shaking of the car itself could knock it right off the windshield. So you definitely want to have that wrapped, attached to your roll bar, and there's kits for that also.
But that's also another way to get it up out of the forward vision.
Yeah,
a lot of folks will mount it to that with like a little drop neck mount. So it's not right on the bar, but drop down a little bit, but still way up out of your traditional forward field of vision.
Yeah, and they have other mirrors out there, like the one that's a segmented mirror,
Yep.
that has a bunch of different kinds of, that have a bunch of mirrors that are all kind of lined up and are kind of tilted. Not my favorite. It kind of makes you feel like I'm in like a really weird video game,
Funhouse.
Yeah, it's like a funhouse feel.
I just get used to those. Like at first, I kind of look at it like weird roll around the pits. But once I get going on track, it just assimilates pretty quickly. They call that style. They call them wink mirrors. Like you're winking with your eye. I don't mind it. It's not my favorite. I prefer we've had the convex kind, like you're talking about in a couple of our
wider
cars.
the better.
Yeah.
But Miss Vicky, you forgot the most important part of our convex mirror.
What about it?
It's over in front of the passenger.
Yes. Yeah, Bill had suggested a while ago, and it does work, is that we kind of move it further out from the center view and move it further to the right of the interior of the car. It just gives you more of a visual to play with. Plus, it's out of your way, and it's out of the way of the steering wheel in case you're trying to pop steering wheel off and you want to hang a steering wheel, or you want to do something like that. It's just out of the way.
And
so you have it more right. You have it more to the right side, like it's all set to the right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not by a lot, but it's not like sitting right in front of the passenger, but it is moved further over and out of the way. And then there's nice bracketed, so it fills in that space for you.
So the thing is, you want it to be close enough you can still adjust it. So you're still well within driver's reach. But as you get to the right, your mirror starts to be able to see, instead of seeing you and your big white helmet, or your whatever color your helmet is, it actually sees behind your helmet. So you can see more of the rear. So it gives you a better angle.
You don't want to see your helmet in your mirror if you can help it. You want to have as much visual behind you as possible.
No point in looking at your gore.
Racing is not about you and how you look in a helmet.
All right. So
it kind of is. We have to all kind of admit that it is about how you look in a fire suit and helmet. Yeah. Whatever.
Bum chicka wow wow.
I got that get that Nomex cologne on.
Walk around with the thing half zipped and down around your waist. Yeah, I know. I see you, Ben. I see you out there.
So airy.
So mirror positioning is fairly simple, but let's get into just real quickly, if we could get to, because sometimes you're in an endurance race and you're sharing the car, and some cars you can't adjust all the mirrors, and sometimes you forget to adjust the mirror and you just can't reach it because you took away all the mirror adjustment mechanisms in your car, and that the one on the right hand side just ain't pointing where you need to do. How do you
and it's
deal
not the right
with?
one. It's not the right one, and it's taped on there.
Yeah,
Right.
or it's taken off by your prior driver in this accident that didn't happen, obviously.
I have been there.
Yes. So what do you do? What are some strategies you guys use to deal with a poorly positioned or a not positioned, or the issue of the mirror not being able to give you the information that you want? What do you do?
I gave you my
I know.
only thing I do early up at the top there. I just act like the car is twice as wide as it is until I'm past somebody. You know what I mean? I just pretend like I'm driving a camper for a second until I got the pass. I'm sure I got the pass cleared, and then I go.
I guarantee that you do more than that, and I'm sure we're gonna bring something up. You're gonna be like, oh yeah, I do that too.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure you will. I'm not thinking of everything.
Miss Vicky.
Yes.
What do you do? What do you do?
I don't know.
Oh, you people. All right. So I'll ask my own question and answer it myself.
Let's do
Bill, Bill, what do you do when your mirrors aren't quite right? Well, Bill, that's a good question. You're good at this hosting thing. I have a game. I play a game.
Oh.
I memorize the cars that are in front of me and the cars that are behind me. I do this on the street as well. Now, if a car is behind me, and I happen this, especially if I know it's a faster car, and all of a sudden it disappears, right?
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Right? It has not gone into a time vortex. It has not taken a boom tube and gone through the infield and is now magically half a lap in front of me. It is somewhere.
Didn't go off if
it didn't. It probably didn't go off. The odds are that it is now in some way next to me, perhaps even on the side to which it disappeared.
Right.
Now, does that mean that I can then feel free to, let's say it's on the right-hand side.
Poop your pants?
Well, I mean, if the car disappears to my right, does that mean I have free reign to go to the apex to the right-hand turn that's coming up? No. These cars don't just poof and disappear. They're still there. They're doing the same thing in general that we are. So you have to accommodate and memorize which cars are where.
Where did that guy go? Damn it.
Yeah, it's logic, people. The car didn't disappear. It didn't take off.
You have to keep a rolling inventory of who's around you all the time. Exactly. That's a big part of it. If your mirrors are working or not, but yes, totally.
Both, either. The only time that I have not been able to do this, and one of the games I play when I'm driving on a multiple lane highway, is I want to memorize what cars are nearby within like half a mile forward and backwards. And then I'll quiz myself and say, okay, there's a red Miata over there and a big minivan that's way in front, and whatever. And then, I take a quick snapshot and look around, and there they are. And believe it or not, this works on the street. When you're on a highway and you're in the left-hand lane and you're passing somebody and they disappear on your right-hand side, they didn't go anywhere. They're still there. Secret. Don't tell anybody. But anyway, play the game. It works. It's only failed me one time, and that was when I was going from turn 6 to turn 7 at Road Atlanta. We were 3 wide, 3 deep. So 9 cars are going through 6 to 7. And I lost track of one of those cars. And all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, still there. Can't turn it. So I was on the outside of 7 going out. And there was a car just to my inside, just to my rear. And I knew who it was. And I apologized to them profusely. I apologize to them every single time. And, if you try to keep track, 9 cars is tough when you're one of the 9. But, 2 or 3 cars, there's really no excuse not to keep track of these cars, people.
Yeah, totally. Got to know who's around to be successful in traffic. Because if you don't, you'll quickly be unsuccessful.
Yes. Or you will be the person who is the bumper instead of the bumpy.
Yeah. Totally.
And that makes your fellow racers not happy with you.
Nobody likes it.
No. I told you did this, Ben. You just didn't think you did this, but you do.
That's right.
All right.
That's right. It's happening automatically.
Exactly. It's so natural to Ben, he doesn't even realize he does it.
I don't think about anything. You know how it is. There's nothing going on up here. It's just like a very tired hamster on a wheel, just sort of not even running, but just sort of rolling back and forth, kicking his foot on the floor just to keep the wheel sort of swinging back and forth. That's all it is inside my head.
So just remember, when Vicky always asks her favorite question, what's your racing philosophies? Ben is something along the lines of ooga booga, must go fast.
Yeah. Creak. Creak, creak.
Yeah.
Anything else on mirrors, or are we beating this one to death?
I think we're good.
Is this question
wanted-
behind us?
Almost. It's almost in the past. But I have one question, one thing to say that is larger than it may appear. Get it?
Ooh, this could be. I could object to this.
Oh, ouch!
Ooh.
All right, we definitely got to take this one and put it down. But I think it's important to take the time to ask for your mirrors to get set right, even if it means screaming at some dude on the grid that you don't know because everybody else from your team walked away, and you realize like, oh crap, I can't see what I want to see out of my passenger thing. I'll scream some dude I've never met down. Hey, come over here. Hey, help me out. And they'll do it. People in a race or a track event, everybody wants to help everybody else out. They're in a great mood. They're in a mountaintop experience. Ask for some help if you need it. But get your mirrors right. I think it's worth it. You'll be more competitive and safer on track. And you end up with them messed up, just take some extra space. But I think it's worth the time to get your mirrors right, even if it means rolling out half a lap late on a DE session or something like that. I think it's definitely worth getting them right if you're able to. But even if you're belted in.
Yeah, it's a good point too, and I think if you looked at it and we actually did some math and looked at some data, I would guess that at least for me and maybe for Ben, I don't know about Vicky. I'm just guessing just by the way we drive. If you looked at the 10 or 15 seconds it took for you to get somebody to adjust your mirror on a 2-hour stint, you're probably going to be more than 10 or 15 seconds slower with a poorly placed mirror.
Yeah.
Over that time.
I back it down. If at least in traffic, I'm not as quick as I could be if my mirrors aren't right.
So net, you're actually gaining time by taking the time to do it. So
I think it's worth it. It's worth it for safety and for eventual competitiveness. You'll be faster. You'll be faster with your mirrors right. So, yeah.
All right.
It's a good topic.
There we go. Dominating with Dawson.
Thanks, Ben. Thank you, Ben.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Right.
Thanks for having me.